The most tragic event in Naruto's life is the death of his parents. That was the moment that left Naruto in complete social isolation and also made him the most hated individual within the Leaf Village. Let's change that. Kushina was basically doomed, unfortunately. Losing her tailed beast kinda sealed her fate, but Minato, he had a chance to survive. So sit back, relax, and of course don't forget to subscribe, cause today we're gonna give Naruto a better childhood. Basically, Minato died from using the Reaper Dead Seal. Don't get me wrong, the giant fingernail impaling him definitely had an impact in Minato's untimely demise, but this wasn't actually the first time the Ninetales put a hole in Minato's stomach. And also, the way we're gonna save him is gonna sound kinda cruel, but Kushina's going to have to seal half the Ninetales in Naruto and the other half in Minato. Believe me, I understand. Kushina's not doing the best right now. She just gave birth, had a tailed beast extracted from her, is actively restraining the Ninetales, and also has a giant fingernail impaling her. But she did suggest to seal the Ninetales within herself to effectively get rid of the Ninetales semi-permanently. Minato of course refused, and the rest is history. But Kushina understood the pain of being a Jinchuriki, the isolation, the responsibility, and the hatred you receive, which is why she was heartbroken knowing Naruto would go through all of that without Minato or herself to be able to properly protect Naruto. So in this case, she would use the last of her strength to make sure Naruto at least had one parent looking out for him. So she would seal half the Ninetales within Minato because that's what he wanted, and the other half within Naruto, just because the Ninetales is just so powerful and overbearing that it would be difficult to control the entire Ninetales in just one person. Once this entire sealing process was done, the third Hokage would have all the best medics in the village attending to Minato. After a lot of surgeries, everyone's favorite blonde would make a full recovery. First thing he would do is check on his son. Next thing he would do is inform Hiruzen about what happened and who attacked the village. And lastly, he's going to kill Obito. The handful of Obito fans who are watching this, I'm sad to say it, but there's no way Minato would let Obito live after what he did. Here's a refresher for anybody who forgot just how cool of a guy Obito is. He tried to kill an infant Naruto, basically killed Kushina, tried to kill Minato, and used the Ninetales to almost completely destroy the Leaf Village. Also, he doesn't feel bad about any of those things, so believe me, there's no conversation that Obito and Minato can have that would erase the newfound bad blood between them, and there's nowhere Obito can hide from Minato. Don't get me wrong, it's not gonna be an easy fight. Trust me, it's not, but I don't think Obito's coming out on top. Minato can just teleport away, come back, teleport away. I know Obito basically has unlimited chakra, but still, I think Minato just has the upper hand with his teleportation. So yeah, Obito's gonna die. And like always, Obito's death has massive repercussions for the rest of this story. The only thing that really stays the same is Nagato is still going to be Pain. At this point in the series, I believe Pain was already a thing. Maybe Obito influenced him a bit more progressively throughout the series, but Nagato had already given up and fallen into hatred. But the Akatsuki would be slightly different. Kisame joined because of Obito, but I'm sure Pain could convince him as well. Maybe even Zabuza and Haku could join later down the line. I'm sure a team up between an older Haku who's now mastered her ice mirrors a bit better, and Zabuza who's improved his whatever Zabuza does within the Akatsuki would surely be welcomed at some point. But the biggest and most obvious side effect of Obito dying is there would be no Uchiha massacre. Minato saw exactly what happened and knows exactly who did it. He wouldn't blame the Uchiha. But don't get me wrong, it's implied in the Naruto series that the Uchiha clan was likely treated badly way before the Ninetales attack ever happened. It just got way worse afterwards. It seemed most of the other clans didn't particularly like the Uchiha. Thankfully for them, Minato actually has a good relationship with the head of the Uchiha clan, so Fugaku would be able to voice any major complaints to the Hokage directly, and Minato would actually listen and do his best to improve the quality of life for the Uchiha clan. Also, if you've seen my last two videos, then you know it's about that time for everybody's favorite Snake Man to get killed by Minato. Really, this is similar to the Obito situation. There's no conversation between Minato and Orochimaru that ends with Orochimaru living after Minato finds all the experiments. And Donzo's not gonna have quite as much freedom to do what he wants. Minato's gonna put a tighter leash on him, of course. Also, Naruto's upbringing is gonna be a hell of a lot better. He will not be the most hated person in the village, and he will finally have a parent around, his father. Naruto and Minato would have a very good relationship. Minato wouldn't be as busy as Naruto is in Boruto. He would actually spend a lot of time with Naruto, and Jiraiya and Kakashi would train Naruto whenever they weren't busy and they were around. It's very possible Jiraiya would push for Minato and Naruto to try mastering the Nine Tails. Minato was able to achieve KCM completely by himself with no guidance. I don't think he would necessarily achieve KCM in this timeline, at least not this early on, but he would have some control of the Nine Tails chakra. Same with Naruto. He's not as talented as his father, but he's got some talent and potential. He'd at least be able to control one tail cloak of the Nine Tails chakra. Obviously, I'm not saying Naruto would do all these things by the time he's like 2 years old. Probably around the time he graduates from the academy, maybe a year after graduating from the academy, around that time. Speaking of which, Kakashi is not gonna be a Genin squad leader. He's staying in the Ambu. Don't get me wrong, Kakashi is a fantastic sensei. He definitely taught Naruto and Sasuke a lot, but his skill set is just very suited for being in the Ambu. So suited. I mean, Tsunade had Kakashi doing all the S-rank missions in the village anyway, so I'm sure Minato would keep him on a similar program, potentially even making him a future Ambu commander alongside Itachi. Shisui, on the other hand, would be a Genin squad leader of whatever team Naruto was in. Minato would certainly make sure a capable shinobi would protect the son. Sasuke would not be on Naruto's team this time. There would be no point really putting the two strongest Genin on the same team. But Sasuke would have a rivalry with Naruto, considering the relationship between their fathers. The Chunin exams would go very smoothly. The Sand Village would not want to cross the Yellow Flash, and the Cloud Village might actually be involved in this Chunin exam. The Raikage had a very deep respect for Minato. He likely wouldn't try any underhanded tactics, and an alliance between the Cloud and Leaf would actually be formed. Regardless, Naruto and Sasuke, as well as Gaara, would be frontrunners to win the Chunin exams. I think Naruto using some of the Nine Tails chakra is just a clear favorite, but in case Minato told him not to use it because that would be a bit reckless and dangerous and overkill honestly, then Sasuke would probably be the favorite to win. Whoever wins isn't really a big deal, since by the time Naruto and Sasuke are around 16 years old, they would be promoted to Jonin. I mean, come on. Minato is teaching Naruto everything he needs to know, as well as Jiraiya and Kakashi when he's not busy. And Shisui is his Jonin sensei. And Sasuke just has so much potential. He has Fugaku helping him. He has Itachi helping him when he's not busy. And other high-ranking Uchiha clan members. So there would be no real need for a 3-year time skip. The Akatsuki would obviously still take that amount of time to become active. But the Leaf is so stacked, there's no way the Akatsuki could get their hands on Naruto. With the Leaf and the Cloud allied, I don't think it's far-fetched to believe B would help both Naruto and Minato to get better control, or even potentially befriend the Nine Tails. If Jiraiya taught Minato Sage Mode, then Naruto would eventually learn it too. So there's two perfect Nine Tails Jinchuriki with Sage Mode within the Leaf Village. Who exactly is supposed to capture them? Minato can just teleport away, so catching him is impossible, and Naruto's overpowered. There's no Akatsuki member that could be able to touch him. Rather, the Akatsuki would ally with other nations. The Mist would be overthrown, especially with Zabuza having joined the Akatsuki. Alliances with smaller nations would be formed, such as the Land of Grass and the Land of Valleys, all those minor villages that have suffered under the big 5 major villages would band together. Black Zetsu would likely make Nagato aware of the Zetsu army and try to manipulate him to revive Madara, which would not work, but a 4th grade ninja war would be waged for a similar reason as Obito, to try and get the tailed beasts, and also weaken the Leaf Village enough to actually capture the Nine Tails, which of course would not work. It would just be another war with Minato completely dominating. Minato is very smart and would figure out Pain's secret. He would kill Pain and forcefully retrieve the Rinnegan. The Rinnegan would be heavily studied and there would be many efforts to try and make more Rinnegan, which is probably impossible unless you use the method we already know about in terms of combining Indra's chakra and Ashura's chakra, but nobody knows about that, so I don't think it's scientifically possible to make more Rinnegan. So instead, somebody would have the Rinnegan implanted in them. And considering just how much chakra is consumed from having a dojutsu implanted in you, especially a dojutsu like the Rinnegan, someone with a lot of chakra would have to be chosen. Yes, I'm giving Naruto the Rinnegan. Mainly because he should have gotten it after Nagato died. Regardless, Naruto would be armed with the Rinnegan. Doesn't matter much that Naruto has the Rinnegan, seeing as no one stood a chance against him before he even had it. Now to talk about the Otsutsuki. Hey, if you love Boruto, I completely understand. It's fantastic, but you can click off now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like. For everyone who's left, I've been reading the new chapters of Boruto and you cannot convince me that 2 Blue Vortex isn't proof that the Infinite Tsukuyomi actually succeeded, because reading the recent Boruto chapters feels like a fever dream. Let's pretend it is. So Momoshiki and friends never come to Earth because they don't exist.